Welcome to today's After Church Tea Time. We speak about Grenville's sermon about the power of your thoughts. Today with Sandra, Carmen, me, Paco, and Deborah. Hi. Thank you all for participating in talking about this powerful sermon from Grenville again, where he was talking about how our thoughts are powerful and how we can create in our reality also with our thoughts. And then he kind of guided us what we can changing inside of us. And I would like to open up the floor and that you share what were your insights from this wonderful sermon from Grenville.
Our thoughts, create our reality. It always has. So if we're thinking negatively, what do we get? We get a negative reality. So our thoughts are so important that we think positively so that our outer reality always reflects what's going on in our heads.
Yeah, it was a very powerful sermon, and I like the way how Grenville, shared also in a very analytic way, and also practically how you can change your reality with your thoughts and how important it is what you think. And I love again that he also shared that imagination is energy. It's from the meditation city, and that whenever you see yourself, I loved also the example that he did with us, like where you feel into how it would feel if you go by your day and it's like you feel exhausted and tired and your body reacted to it. I also noticed directly like, feels heavy and my lungs didn't work as they usually would do. And then also the opposite of it, imagining yourself like having a lot of energy and moving in a light manner, and so your whole body reacted to it, and how this changed the whole inner being and how everything is connected with each other. And so when you just align one thought that's out of alignment with love, then a huge system is behind that, and so much is changing in as a result of that. And it again just shows how powerful the mirror exercise is. And you could also do, of course, like Jeff once shared in one class, I think it was a class, where he said, whenever there is one bad thought coming up against yourself or towards someone else, you just have to be aware of that and just pick that one thought out and ask yourself why, or heal that with the mirror exercise. And that changes everything. And now you have to set up a boundary to each and every time this thought comes up. And we have so many thoughts. I want to share that. I once wrote an article about how many thoughts we have, or how many thoughts a normal human being has who is maybe not on the path. And it was around 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. 70,000 thoughts per day. Yes. And most of them are unconscious, and only 5% of all of that amount of those thoughts are positive. Only 5% for a normal human being. And when you see now this whole potential, what is in that, and 25% were negative. So what a whole lot of a potential is in there to change your reality with that, and to also make the unconscious thoughts conscious in meditation and doing the mirror exercise and following the teachings of union. And that is so powerful. We have a lot of access to everything. And maybe you all know those movies, what is the name? Maybe someone of Lucy is one of those movies where you have access to a lot of potential in you. I don't know how it.
Yes, it's kind of like can open up to experience the 100% of her capacity. in her mind, like what her mind can do.
Yeah, right. Thank you. And see how powerful that is. And I think don't know if the movie is then so accurate, but I think there is a lot of potential in it, and you can feel it, like Love also reflecting on, yeah, how far you've come on your journey since you're doing the mirror exercise and following these teachings, what you have achieved. And this brings you also back into this feeling and sense of gratitude. And in gratitude, you will magnetize even more good things to your life. And this is like the good cycle. You know, we are all going out of this hellish cycle where you're experiencing maybe a lot of shit in your life and you have to heal it to move out of that. And when you're in this circle of gratitude and focusing on the positive stuff and healing, then you will get in this red wheel of positivity, so to say, which is expanding always, and you're not limited, right?
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That was kind of where Granville guided us in his sermon, to see, like Carmen and also Sandra shared, with negative things you think, thoughts you create. And there is a lot of things going on in our mind that is not conscious. And we are not aware what is going on here. And Granville shared also that we can change that we can also change kind of these unconscious habits we have in our mind with the mirror exercise. And we need for that, he repeated that not once, not twice, I think 3 or 4 times, consistency, persistence. And we have to do it again and again.
Yeah, that it's by repetition that we get to master this process. And I found I always love how he explains it in a very logical and like pragmatical way. The exercises were like a great opening door there. Because when he was moving through this, I was like, how about all the stuff that we bring imprinted as kids, for instance, or growing up, all these thoughts or voices from other people around us that were also kind of like given onto us. And because we weren't able to set an appropriate boundary, he also speaks about this in the sermon, that we took it as our own, and we kind of like repeated this over the years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And how we actually have, like Carmen was pointing out in the sermon, like the power to actually reverse and change this, and like change it for good, like at the core, at the roots of it. Like Granville was sharing in his whole explanation of how our thoughts can create our reality.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Regular day-to-day people who aren't on the path, they're more sensitive to energy than we realize. And so we have to always be mindful of what we do to ourselves and have hygiene, like spiritual hygiene, boundaries, keep like doing the mirror exercise, keep meditating, keep practicing good lifestyle. But when you're around people who aren't used to this, you just have to be kind and loving and realize they're more sensitive than they realize. They're just not on the path. But it's so important to continuously keep purifying yourself and have boundaries and develop routines.
I like what Sandra shared right now, because it's exactly what I experienced in my life, and also what Granville shared in his sermon today, that you are then creating a frequency in your side of you with your thoughts. Also that you shine through energy through your body, and your environment reflects that. And so, like Sandra shared, people around you who are not on the path of ascending, they sense that. I see that in the workplace and I'm at right now. There is a kind of, it's a fabric, and there is a rough way of speaking with each other. It's normal there. And I'm just like Sandra shared, I have my boundaries. I'm just kind, I'm just there, I'm doing my work. But since I'm there, the month I'm there now, it changed. It's kind of, they sense, okay, he's doing it another way. And they see it function this way too. And it changed a little bit when I'm there. I'm never talking about the teaching of union or something. I'm just the way I am. And I don't know what they decide when I go somewhere else, but it's like I stay loyal to myself and I keep going even I'm in an environment where they don't kind of appreciate what I am.
Yeah, you just planted a seed. And
Exactly.
like, I feel like that's kind of like the next thing that I was feeling come up in regards to the ceremonies. That you have to become aware that you actually have a choice, that you want, even if it means that nobody else was giving you this example, like just by not having the example, you may be feeling like the pull to say there has to be something different.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's how it got like manifested in your workplace, that you are there. It's like maybe at some level they are asking for something different in the workplace, but because they lack the tools to know what that is, they called it in this way. And that was kind of like my experience growing up with my family. Certain like thoughts or beliefs were passed on from one generation to another.
Limited kind of.
Like, and a lot of them were limiting beliefs. And at some point I was like, there has to be something different than this. Like, this is not sitting well with me. And that kind of like Granville was sharing at the end, allowing ourselves to explore different options, explore different ways of doing things, and particularly exploring this way of healing at the core of who we are, because he was talking about making changes at a very deep level, also physiologically, like how much our body changes and reacts when we are feeding it something light, positive, in a sustainable way, which is like the whole idea of this teaching, is that this can be sustained over time.
When he shared that, immediately popped up for me my whole life, kind of when I grew up with 20, I didn't eat breakfast anymore. And I did that over 15 years, and I never ate breakfast. And then I came into the teaching and I started eating divine dish. And I kind of had to heal into having a healthy lifestyle again in my eating habits. I learned that it's so loving with divine dish. I make myself a breakfast, a really good breakfast, something very special always. And how self-loving this is. And in that way, I have to do my inner healing work. I had to do my mirror exercise, sitting there reading, I should cook now for breakfast or what?
Like 1 hour, 30 minutes or 45, for me, it was also kind of like a difference.
Yeah, my whole life I kind of didn't eat breakfast at all. Now I should cook or what? That were my thoughts at the beginning. Oh my God, I don't have time for that.
No, but that's kind of like the same culturally speaking. Like this example applies to anything in our life, but culturally speaking, in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, where I grew up, you would kind of like toast 2 breads and a marmalade and maybe drink a mate or a coffee, and then you would pretty much be gone for working. And through, for instance, the experience of divine dish is like, oh no, you can actually choose different. You can give yourself the appropriate breakfast and set your body differently too throughout the day, since breakfast tends to be the most important meal of the day. Like, you wake up, you need energy to kind of move around, and no breakfast doesn't really help. But yeah, we can all change these little habits here and there whenever we feel like something better is on the way.
You can't think clearly unless you eat. So yeah, you better eat, because you'll give yourself enough energy and it'll sustain you so that you can go on with your day-to-day business in life. Eating is so important. we're nourishing ourselves, we're loving ourselves. Not eating, you end up being angry and irritable. Eating, you're content, relaxed, and happy, and you can think clearly, how am I going to do this today? Where am I going to do this today? You'll be able to manage your life if you eat.
Yeah, true. Eating means also loving yourself and loving your body. And this is supporting you spiritually as well. Yeah, Pakovani, I had that too. I'm still working through it because, yeah, my twin flame person is an Indian guy. He is definitely into food like crazy. And I was so upset when he was every morning like, let's have breakfast. And I was used to, like, when I was eating breakfast, I usually just made my bread in the kitchen, like, yeah, come some cheese on it, it's fine, maybe sit down for it. But usually while I was making it, I was already eating it. It was so not healthy. My body wasn't even like recognizing that I was eating. So maybe in an hour I was hungry again, right? And so he taught me, or he is teaching me, to put all the things that we have in the fridge or in every other shelf on the table, to bring it to the winter garden, to set up everything nice, meditate before, and then we even bless our food, and you can feel the vibrations of the food. When it's good food, you get this cold sense in your hands. This is so nice. I was so amazed by it, and I'm actually eating less but better, and it feels amazing. And I'm starting doing it for myself as well, even when he's not here. I'm very proud, but yeah, every day a little step more. Yeah, but nice that you brought that up. It's really good. And yeah, it's true, afterwards you feel like sometimes I was pushing myself while doing inner work. I felt the sense of I was getting hungry, and then I thought, no, I should move through this upset right now. But then my body was telling me, yeah, but you don't really have the energy to move through it right now. You should give yourself something here. You should eat. And after eating, it felt refreshed, like taking a nap when you need it. Or yeah, it's definitely part of the journey and very important to do that. I mean, we have a human body, we need food. And so, yeah, we deserve to give it to ourselves.
I have heard of the Hare Krishnas. They put their food on an altar and they pray and chant over the food before they prepare it. And it makes a difference. The food's extra charged, it's loving, it's full of energy, positive energy. And you're ingesting all that positive energy by eating it. Yeah, pray over your food.
That is a beautiful example from the sermon Granville shared with us, because kind of what Carmen now shared, or what Sandra said, that they do in the temple with the food is they have positive thoughts. They kind of are grateful for the food. They kind of, like Carmen shared, that she learned with her twin flame to be grateful. I have food now. To be grateful for the time that I can spend in eating the food. And this vibration was in the food. And now you learn kind of to have a positive and loving lifestyle. That's a wonderful example for exactly what Granville shared with us.
Yeah, and I also love, like, we can just kind of take this example that we've been sharing, and like when you start your day off in an empty stomach, you're actually like taking from yourself, and you're reinforced this sense of lack. So you're already creating in your reality this belief that you don't have enough.
This negative thought in your head.
Yeah, and then it will, of course, like be carried throughout the day, as opposed to starting the day off with a hearty breakfast, or maybe even like inviting chanting or praying, like a little bit more presence with it, and realizing that this is something that you're feeding yourself with. And so you're filling up your tank. That means you're not in lack anymore.
Yeah.
And then you go throughout your, yeah, exactly. And you go out there throughout the day feeling full,
full of love,
recharged, and like it's amazing how subtle it is and how obvious it can be, that we kind of like miss it under our radar. Like I know a lot of times in my past I was like, it wouldn't cross my mind to add 2 + 2 here. Like how much of a difference these little details actually do.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wanted to say something.
I like what you shared.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, that is nice. It reminds me actually also about MAP, the mind alignment process, right? It brings your mind in alignment with the truth, with peace. And I remember after my first session, after my first round going through MAP, I felt like really like this little, how you call those things that are in a clock or in a watch, these little tiny, I know the German word, but not the English one. But maybe, you know, I explain it in a different way. In machines, there are these little things and they work together, right? And so they grab into each other, so the whole system is working. So this is usually what is behind the clock, this little things here. And this is how my mind felt afterwards. It felt like, whoa, something is finally moving here. And it felt so refreshing and so open. And yeah, this is happening when you meditate regularly, when you heal and when you choose to heal and when you choose to cultivate a healthy life for yourself. And this feels so good, so that everything is aligned with it. Yeah, mind alignment process is awesome.
Yeah, mind alignment process, you're like cleansing your life, cleansing your trauma. You're revisiting the trauma, but then you're cleansing it. And then you're making a new choice that you want to be healthy, that you want to be loved, that you're not receiving lack, that you do have abundance. You do have everything that you need. Mind alignment process is great.
Yeah. Speaking about how is this word? It just blew my mind. Rewiring, like Granville was sharing. We are kind of like rewiring those neuron paths that we've been reinforcing with certain thoughts and kind of like reverting that.
And there comes another example. Today, I got angry out of nowhere. I don't know, I was so angry. And then I was angry with her out of nowhere. Nothing happened. I picked the card. The card said meditate. I was angry. I should meditate. Why? Then I sat down and I meditated. And then I realized I have this thought, I have to live with pain, also with physical pain. I kind of, and a strong person knows no pain, even the pain is there. I ignore it, this is not there. And I was raised with this thought. And I had pain in my shoulder since weeks now. And I got so angry today because the pain is still there, but I have this thought is so deeply in me that I just don't, I pretend it's not there. I go through my day, it's not there. And today, after I meditated, I realized the pain is there. I can do something. So like I brought a lot of lightness into the pain in my shoulder and I loved myself there. And then I was able to love myself also on the outside. I picked the cream which helps me and I massaged myself and then it felt already lighter. But I had to go through another layer of this thought, of this block to loving myself here completely. Like Granville shared. It's again, and I have to be consistent here in going through this habit I have here.
Yeah. No, I just had an aha moment, but
you would like to share this aha moment with us?
I'm not sure. I think
it's not fully it's not aware for you.
No. I feel it's not appropriate for this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and after I gave myself all of this, I was not angry anymore. As I did my inner healing work, and then I also were able to come on the outside in the physical world from a loving place for myself. And then we had another example about that with mind alignment process. We both triggered each other in our last
map sessions.
Yes, kind of. And we kind of both had then the thoughts there that I'm doing what you experienced in your trauma and that you are doing with me what I experienced in my trauma, because the thoughts were so deeply in our consciousness that kind of we had to upheave here still. And so we had the situation together, and then we realized, oh, okay, it was just, and we
like a deeper layer.
Yeah, upheave here and let go still of this energy we already healed.
Yeah, because like in my case, since coming together with you, a lot of misaligned beliefs about myself have been like purged, and they keep being purged, and it's mostly around like family, which is the one thing that we've been working really hard on grounding. So everything that is not in alignment with love in that place, it will come up, and it will come up in the shape of him being triggered and then like yelling at me, and then I'm being triggered, or the other way around,
yelling at me,
or me, or he's just breathing, and I'm like, why don't like your presence bothers me right now.
Or even Dante is already feels so safe in saying to me, I don't like you now, Ron, can you go for a walk, please?
Oh, you already said this.
Yeah, you said that to me.
I didn't know.
I would like you to go for a walk. And I said, I'm not going for a walk. You can go in your room.
Okay, that is very cool.
Yeah, and this is the teaching helped us to build this trust, because we know we can kind of change here something, like Granville shared with the mirror exercise.
Yeah.
Even Dante does it his way.
Yeah, for me, I feel like one of the greatest examples I can experience in how much this work, and like Granville was sharing how the process of forming our thoughts and beliefs actually works, is the seeing that you can actually make a kind of like a cut with the old, the stuff that don't work for you, the things that don't feel good to you, and actually like make the conscious choice of making something different out of that. Like the relationship we are having, or building, better said, with Dante is absolutely different than the one my parents kind of like chose to, or were able to build with me. And like these changes though require, like Granville was sharing, persistence and patience.
Yeah, patience.
They are very real. It is absolutely worth giving this teaching a try, and try it as many times as you need.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've experienced a lot of pains and discomforts, but I never stop. I always choose to love myself and heal myself, and talk to your body, send your body love, do the mirror exercise. Don't stop. Be persistent continuously. You can achieve your health. You can achieve a healthy body, but don't believe that you can be sick for the rest of your life. That's a lie. Just keep working on it and don't stop.
Amen. Yes. That's what I experienced too. Mirror exercise helps me too when I have
anything.
Exactly.
From like physical pain to something that is feeling like uncomfortable. It's really helpful, like even to catch yourself from patterns that you've been having without realizing. Like I do this, I've been learning very recently how much I sometimes, because upheaval feels this like very uncomfortable sometimes, then kind of like I would avoid myself with this urge to work. And I was like, this is not feeling good either. It's like, something is off here. And it's amazing to see that you can actually start, like as you apply it and you become better at it over time, like over the years. You keep going, you can actually catch yourself and change this too, like have healthier habits, like we were sharing about the breakfast, but it can again
Like
extend everywhere.
I was able to realize I had also the thought of a strong person has to do everything alone.
Oh God, no.
I
But
really
yeah, okay.
then I don't need to go to doctors. I can do everything on
for
my
crying
own.
out loud.
But underneath that was a fear about that. And with the miracles, I was able to come to the core of it. And I was really 10 years not with a doctor. And then I started to go to doctors again because you need help. I go to the doctor when
Are you a doctor?
I am not a doctor. That's
Okay,
why
so you need a doctor when
I'm not a doctor.
when something doesn't work.
I cannot repair my teeth. I'm not able
So
to.
you could, but I don't think it's gonna
Oh my
be a good
God.
idea.
That don't looks good, and I don't think I function very well. So I have to go to the doctor. Well, when I had corona, I was in quarantine, and I needed Hustensaft.
Yeah, the coughing syrup thing.
Yeah, exactly, because it was so bad. I cannot make that for my own. I have not the skill. So you went to the doctor for me.
Yeah.
And I learned, I also was then able to be so honest because the doctors asked me why you never was with us. And then I said, yes, I had a fear. And they understood that. They understood that as I was honest with them. And this was a habit that was not loving myself because you need support also through doctors. And thanks, like Granville shared, it was an unconscious thought. And I kind of, oh no, I can do everything on my own. I have here spirituals and that.
Yeah.
But with the mirror exercise, I came to the core of it, and I was able to heal it at the core. Even sometimes another layer comes up, and I need a long time to go somewhere. But I always see the truth and what is the most appropriate thing to do, and the most loving thing for myself to do.
Yeah, Alexandra was saying, you just simply choose to keep going. And
Exactly.
That is ego. If we think we can do it all ourselves, you got to surrender to God, and God will help you, guide you with your healing. And a doctor, he has knowledge on healing, but he's like one facet of God. If you look at it like that, the doctor's role is there to love you and heal you.
yeah,
Very beautiful said. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like they can love you where you are unable to. Like, yeah, that's exactly. I had that experience. Like you just reminded me at the very beginning of my journey. I had like a chipped tooth, and I was like super worried. Like, am I gonna lose my tooth? Blah blah blah. And then I went just to the dentist, and like as I relaxed and kind of like moved through the process, I could hear God saying like, relax, it's like it's fixable, like, it's not really that big of a deal, but you just needed to come here and kind of like move through the experience.
Yeah.
And like in 5 minutes, I'm just like, no, you don't really have anything. Everything's in order. It's just like you actually the piece that you just found, you don't even need it glued back. So so everything is okay. Yes. Cool, thanks. I just like went on with my life where I was freaking out before. So yeah.
Yeah, if the audience has questions or would like to share something with us, please do that in the comments. Otherwise, yeah, what I would like to share is that really Granville said that there are unconscious, I don't remember exactly how he said it, unconscious beliefs still inside of us, and we can make them more conscious, kind of.
We can become aware of them.
We're aware of them with staying loyal to the path of healing inside of us. And with repeating the mirror exercise in what else presents in our life, and then we see, okay, like I realized I thought I can do on my own and I can heal everything in my body on my own, and then I thought I can do that on my own, I don't need that, and I gave here power to an ego part instead of realizing, oh, I am just afraid of going to the doctor. I had to kind of realize the thought inside of me, oh, I'm afraid. And so I don't like going there. And so step by step, I started with the dentist going there, and then I started with other doctors where we should go in a regularly. And step by step, like you shared, I heal through my fear in these experiences. And you can do it in every experience you have, maybe in changing a job or in changing your lifestyle or
a certain habit. And like Granville was sharing in the sermon, kind of like allowing yourself to discover how loving life can be with you, in a sense. That's also kind of like an experience I've been moving through since coming to Austria. A lot of times I encounter myself sharing with Paco, it's like I'm not used to having this like people being friendly in this way, or like when I went to do like a follow-up for my thyroid issue, I was like, I'm not used to having a doctor who doesn't come from this abusive energy. Like he was super loving, and I was like, this is completely new, but that's the whole point. Is as we were sharing at the beginning, it's like learning that there is a different reality for us, a much like loving and compassionate one. Like, yeah, absolutely okay to receive it.
we are checking if we have comments. Would someone of you share something? Sandra, Carmen? Or do you feel complete?
I can share one more thing.
Yes, please.
So yeah, I loved what we shared so far about everything. And there's one thing that I wanted to add to it. It's just like, of course, healing starts with a choice to heal, but it actually starts with the desire to change something, to the desire to be something better, or to be of service of God. And I think this is also important to ask oneself always, why do I want to change this right now? Or if there is something that bothers you, or ask, like, is it really bothering you right now? Is it really something that you want to change right now? Or are you guided to do something else first? Always asking and checking in with God, what is it that he wants to do, and knowing that this is the most and fastest path that you can do. Because yeah, I remember sometimes there were things in my life where I said, like, I want to heal exactly this. I sat down on it, meditated on it, and said, like, yeah, should feel my feelings exactly about it. And then I had to surrender and actually let God show me the way and ask him, what is it that I have to heal here? And he led me into different, very different paths and ways, and showed me different upsets than I expected would come up with that issue. But in the end, it showed that I had to heal everything that was related to what was upsetting me, for example, job related. And yeah, it just starts with the desire, with the true desire, the pure desire to heal and to be with God, and just persisting and choosing to heal.
Regular day-to-day life, and people, they don't realize how important choice is, that they can make a choice to heal. But we are always learning to be more mindful and make the choice, choose to heal. That's my take for today on that.
Yeah, I like what you both shared right now.
Mm.
Also with Carmen now going here deeper with the desire and then kind of letting go of control.
Very important. Yeah.
And surrender to God. Okay. Okay. Feels better, you are right. God is always right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what I do, to be honest. Even we have a fight, I'm kind of, she's standing in her truth, I am standing in my truth. I then decide I choose God's truth. And then it always feels lighter. Even we have a conflict between the two of us. I choose then, I don't care anymore if I'm right, if she's right, if I'm in the truth, she's in the truth. Most of the time we both have a part of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we choose God's truth and to surrender, then we can see the truth, and then, like Sandra shared, we can make a new choice. And that feels a very wonderful way of living with God. It feels very wonderful, the way of living.
Yeah, it's very loving to give yourself something different than what you've experienced that you feel doesn't quite fit you anymore.
And God has really very good stuff for all of us.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
so much in store.
Yes,
We have like absolutely no idea how good it can
yeah.
be.
Yeah, that's true.
Or how good it gets.
Yeah. Yeah, with this said, and thank you all for your wonderful insights and for your wonderful sharing. Thank you again, Granville, for your wonderful sermon again. I really appreciate your sermons. They are always very healing and very juicy. Thank you all for being here, and we see you in the next after church tea time. Bye.
Okay.